Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have Dan Zielinski, our VRD 2 champion, up against John Ryan Hamilton, whose name is so awesome it's spilling all the way over into onto my chest here.
So Dan Zielinski has America Control, right? So, or what do we call that nowadays?
Just Guy.
Just Guy,
right?
that's the magic word.
So Just Guy Control.
Right, with Kiki combo.
Splinter Twin, Kiki Jiki.
So can obviously win out of nowhere. Lots of good counterspells. John Ryan Harris has basically Just Guy.
Yeah.
With the package of Sneak Attack and Show and Tell, typically going in, and Tinker.
For Aether Searcher.
Tinker going into Aether Searcher, which then gets Emrakul, cast Emrakul, right?
And the good
he can
news
do
is,
that turn 1 off of Mana Crypt.
Yeah, John Ryan Hamilton, I believe. I believe it's Hamilton.
We didn't type it, so...
yeah. No, it says Hamilton. I believe that's correct.
It may be Harris, and he's making a joke out there.
I don't think so. I think it's real.
Okay.
I think this is for real.
That is Mark out there on the names. So, but we don't have... and also 2-1, right? So we're not sure. He was up 2-0. Not sure who he...
Yeah, somebody could have moved into black, grabbed
that
some
was
of
my
those.
point too, hyphenated.
Yeah, but
she does have a sweet victory, came in to talk some crap, so I had to talk a little crap back.
Yeah, Lynn's busy on her way to grab some pizza, doesn't want to talk to us about Dark Slick Shores and Underground Sea. I understand.
But yeah, so we've got two very explosive decks here, right?
Yes.
Like, earlier I saw John Ryan has Show and Tell, and Naveen had Counterspell and Scepter and counter the Show and Tell. And then John Ryan, cool, okay, Tinker to get rid of this Signet and get Searcher, get Emrakul, win, right? So there's a lot of spice. And then Dan has got a really solid counterspell deck here that goes into Kiki combos, but is also able to take infinite turns with Soulfire Grandmaster and Time Walk if he's got the mana, right?
Yeah. And John Ryan... I think John Ryan has the edge early on in this matchup because his deck is faster, right? His deck is faster.
Like,
so
he literally can turn one Emrakul.
Yeah. But Dan has a decent number of counter spells available to him. How's it going, man?
Good. If either of you would like pizza, you can step out. And I'll take your spot, or I'll just hang.
I think I'll stick with this one and I'll grab some. Sure.
Yeah. We'll hang out.
Yeah.
As long as there's pizza left when we're done.
Just save us some. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make a salt and smoke run.
Yeah, I mean we can.
Yeah.
I think we can get that on Postmates.
Okay, sweet.
We can just get that delivered if something goes wrong here. We'll get barbecue.
There's bologna jalapeno sandwiches.
Can we adjust John Ryan's record? We sure can.
I sure can. What is his record?
What is John Ryan's record? If you please. Oh, his placement of text. Oh, yes, we can do that. Here. Can you? If I know how to do this. Okay. Unless you are an OBS person, I believe I can do it. Okay, play it right. Unlock.
Yeah, 98 for 0 doesn't matter when you're taking like 72 to the head or whatever, you know.
Yep. Right, you're still getting
because it casts. That's what it casts.
So you get the extra turn. So at that point they have one turn to deal with your Emrakul.
Yeah.
Which, best of luck.
Sure.
Still getting hit for 15.
Yeah.
The Caracas is not available to Dan. That, of course, is in Shelley's deck.
Right.
John Ryan Hamilton personal tutors.
And that was a Tinker he put on top.
So. And he's got a woof.
Yeah.
He's got an artifact and blade. Dan needs a counterspell.
I mean, what's he got? He's got a jet in hand, so
he could upkeep, tap something, and hope John Ryan doesn't have another mana source.
I see Pestermite. I see Glendalandra.
He's in trouble. He's gonna have to desperation upkeep, tap a mana source.
He's not gonna do it.
He's not doing it.
I don't know if he looked at the deck list enough to know.
Uh-oh.
Or is there a card we're missing?
I don't
Where's that card in the end?
Oh yeah, no, Annihilate Zero is very funny. There's Glenalendra, JTMS, Rabble Master.
Oh, no, he's not going to get
Drawn from Dreams. Did he not get Tinker? He's not going for it.
Maybe I thought that the personal tutor I thought was maybe it was personal tutor I saw when I thought it was Tinker. Maybe he didn't have Tinker in hand.
But he can personal tutor for Tinker.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's representing a counter. That's true. We have perfect information.
Right.
So I think John Ryan is playing it safe.
I think the thing is you're much funnier than my soul, and I just don't. I take your jokes all the way too seriously, brother. Okay, yeah, just go to the counter. Okay.
Yeah, he's worried about the counter. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Drawn from drains.
Right. I mean, especially with Dan's deck, right? Like you know he's got counters.
No, now Dan is quite far away from a Splinter Twin or a Kiki Jiki. He suspends Ancestral Visions here.
Right.
I don't think he has another mana source though.
No, and I mean at this point he's not going to be. I don't think he's going to. Thanks for the follow, FS Brain.
Very nice, much appreciated. I think at this point, if you're John Ryan,
yeah, you just jam. I mean,
you gotta jam the tanker.
You know he's got negate, but like
yeah, I mean Dan missed the land drop. He's got negate. He's got mana leak. Those are both options here, right? Negate, of course. Negate
and you may have your own counter,
right? And John Ryan may be able to push back here, but regardless, what we're gonna see here is Aether Searcher.
Yeah, he's gonna just pick up cards. Like,
Dan says, "I'm out. Thank you very much." Yeah. And John Ryan is very happy to show us all Aether Searcher, which casts Emrakul, gives him another turn, and then he would attack for 21. Yeah. Aether Searcher, of course, a 6/4.
That's a big body.
Yeah. Sometimes your robot crawworm also needs to cast your monster from another dimension.
So yeah, but while it was barely,
both you Splinter.
Yeah. While it was barely a joke, it was still above the 0 that the Annihilate would have been for. So it was still a joke. All right, so gonna go look for some cards. Got some nice pieces of paper there.
Just taking a little sideboarding. John Ryan really made Dan really made John Ryan work for that one.
Do I have deck lists on this? Can I hit draft?
If you go to the draft view.
Okay. So let's take a quick look here and see what we might see coming in here, right?
It's in the Chrome, yeah.
There we go, in Chrome. So, I guess I also could hit the deck, like they can look at the deck list.
Yeah, the players can look at the deck list through Cardboard Live. We've got that. It's on the other monitor.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So we've got so far Grandmaster didn't make the main. Interesting.
That makes sense. I don't think Dan needs it. I think Dan didn't play.
Also, he grabbed the Vampiric early and didn't end up playing it. That's interesting. That's that feels bad. That was a pick 5.
Yeah, it looks like Dan decided to leave the white on the bench in game 1.
Treachery probably doesn't come in.
Dovin's Veto. Like I feel like you might just go like counter magic mode.
V-click.
Click. Potentially Veto.
A braid.
A braid is a solid way to get rid of some artifacts, get some artifacts out of your way.
And then John Ryan, looks like we could get in...
Pyroblast for John Ryan. Unsubstantiate.
Flusterstorm.
Yeah, unsubstantiate because it's a good way to protect your spell. He could play Overmaster's another possibility.
The Seiju who shelters all.
Yeah, right. The Seiju will come in.
Yeah. So, all right, let's come back to...
And yeah, if he's going to play Overmaster, it's going to be in this matchup. And any of the other counterspell matchups. Looks like we're closing in, shuffling up for game 2 here.
Let me update some result there. So yeah, so some interesting stuff in there that like the balance didn't make main deck.
No, he decided to just push more on the combo.
Right. Yeah, the 4.
Oh, it's behind the...
Right, I'm just... Oh, there we go.
Just minimize the...
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find where my...
There you are.
So...
You want match record... It's match record. Match record right. One of the two. Make that bigger, and you'll be able to see its file name. Not that one. Yeah, if you just hit Control-S on that one, it'll update to 1. Okay. Hey, all right.
Hey-o.
Technology.
It is what it is.
We've got quite the setup. I think the basement's going to be a good.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good improvement for us for next time. No, I mean, Mark, you did a good job setting all this up. It all works, and that's what's important.
I just haven't used the keyboard part yet, so I actually just don't know some of the mechanic parts. So I've never actually.
That makes sense. I've been doing.
I just get on stage and talk pretty, and then you and Mark always do the keyboard stuff. So, I'm just a professional pretty talker.
So Dan leading with that jet and the flooded strand. He's got the negate, of course, and the mana leak in the hand, rather. And negate and mana leak.
Yeah, so I understand not doing the Vampiric. It is, he obviously had a plan with that 5th pick Vampiric, and then it kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, and the plan changed, and that was okay.
Kicking out of a 5th pick still so hurts,
But if you're gonna have success in VRD,
right.
You're gonna have to make decisions like that. Gotta be flexible.
That's probably why I'm over here. Like I'm not very good at making that flex, right? I'm not kicking out of a 5th pick Vampiric.
Right, you get stuck on it. But he realized he could just stick to blue until he actually made a decision.
That hand looks pretty good for him, right? He's got Jason Mind Sculpture. He's got negate
and link, right? And Rabble Master there,
right?
Yeah, please let us know how that Cardboard Live extension is.
Hey, Mark, can you check something? When I looked at the lists, it looked like Rabble Master was not marked as main, but I thought I saw it in his hand game 1.
Yeah. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I mean, it could have been something else, but will you check that? Anyway, don't decide to quite ask. Good. Awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, the standings, we're still working on the standings things. I know it detects everybody has having some number of losses. It thinks everybody's already played 7 rounds. It's a little weird, but we're working on that.
One step at a time. And as we said, there are some actually really big announcements coming up. It got mentioned earlier that
yes.
We currently have this macro NIM. Thank you, Eric Levine.
STL VRD.
STL VRD. And then you got to know what STL is, and you got to know what VRD is. So we've got some interesting... Yeah, he might have screwed up by accident, but just remind him that... Yeah. And I may have saw the card wrong. It may have not been a Rabble Master in his hand last time.
Right, and it's not as if the Rabble Master
it's not like it's not the end of the world in any stretch, but this is don't be a dick RAL.
Yeah.
We just want to remind him for future just to make sure.
Yeah, hey, next time make sure you D-sideboard. You just probably missed it.
Right.
Not a huge deal. So it looks like
this is magic right here, right?
Yeah,
like this is control magic. So is it to do some draw discard?
John Ryan's going to do a draw discard here.
Okay, good to know. We'll take a look.
Yeah, there's it's obviously that's the there's some things that are part of the Cardboard Live extension that we can change and some things that we can't, obviously, because it's not our extension. But I'm sure whatever Mark can do to make it better, he will. We, of course, here on this, Stephen and I, not software developers.
No.
My coding skills have really degraded over the years.
My coding skills stopped with MUDs back in the day when I coded in LPC. It wasn't even like C++ or anything. It was LPC.
Oh my gosh.
Back in LP MUDs. Dawn Mud and Realms of the Dragon represent.
MUDs.
I'm just waiting for someone to shout out like, "Whoa, I was a Realms of the Dragon player," and like we realized that we're long lost guildmates or something.
One day it'll happen for you.
So, Is It Charm was cast there. The Charm cycle's solid. Alex Blackard, local control player, has his Control Guru, Control Freak.
The Control Freak podcast, yes.
Which is doing really well lately.
Yeah, he's doing great.
So back in the day, it was funny. Him and I got in this big discussion, and he was talking about, Is It Charm was the be-all, end-all, and Is It Charm is very good. But he dismissed. He said that Azorius Charm is absolute garbage. And then Azorius Charm ended up being one of his go-to spells for many years. And I've never let him down that he decried that Is It Charm was garbage, or Azorius Charm was garbage. But Azorius Charm was sick.
You have no crew. Oh, you're saying you're not sure how this deck lost a match? Yeah, it's hard.
I don't know. Who did he lose to?
Well, it would have been Elaine, because she's XO and they've played.
Right. Heavy discard, right? I mean, Elaine's discard.
She must have tore up his hand. Yep.
I mean, Elaine's discard was brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got so much discard.
That Davriel pick was sexy.
The Davriel, 3 cards for 1. Over time, but it does the job.
Yeah, no, John Ryan's deck is definitely sick, right?
It's very good.
This is a great example of how us in the booth only have so much insight, right? Like when he was making especially early picks, we had a lot of questions.
We had many questions.
And we did say, in our defense, as it was coming together mid-range, that it was coming together pretty well.
It did come together.
We were starting to see what he was doing. But, this is a potent deck.
And I still think some of the picks that he made early on were misguided. But
right.
Like we were saying, he really... he learned from the draft during the draft and adjusted his strategy, and that was really cool.
I really think he had a good
counter war being fought over this Teferi.
I was like, how many
divert! Oh, diverting the negate to the Mana League allows John Ryan to resolve Teferi on 3.
Oh, divert!
Beautiful.
Oh man.
Phenomenal gameplay from John Ryan.
My heart's a flutter. It's not a Flusterstorm, but it's a flutter.
Now Dan's counterspell suite is locked out until he can deal with Teferi.
I mean...
That's going to be hard to do.
It's got that sitting there. I mean, Jace only bounces creatures, right?
Of course, there's a question of how much gas does John Ryan still have left
right.
fighting that fight.
But like saying, so even if he jams, like you jam Jace here, right? Because now you can't counter whatever he has. If he has the win, he wins, right? Like if he's gonna somehow just get it off the top, you can't counter it anyway.
Yeah.
So you just jam Jace here and start digging.
Right. And if he has Tinker and an artifact, if he has Show and Tell on the Searcher.
Yeah. And this is just the judge of my heart, right?
Right.
Like, Dan just presented the Jace and then tapped the mana.
Yeah.
Like a proper spell is supposed to be cast.
Yep.
Unlike most mortals, would just tap the mana and then give the spell, right? He played proper, tight magic.
You know, I there was a guy who got DQ'd in the finals of a Pro Tour for that way back in the day.
Yeah.
For casting his spells the way we now consider proper.
Right. I tell it's funny because I tell people all the time. I say, like, hey, like most of the time, it doesn't matter the way you cast your spells. They do the shortcut. I was like, but I love one of my favorite judge questions is to give people when I'm training judges is to give people scenarios where they can only win by properly casting the spell recommend their abilities. I actually blew an EDH table's mind recently by killing them with Exactos because I didn't have the extra with an Una Queen of the Fae activation with all Ashnod's Altar. And I activated for extra, like, we don't have enough mana for that. And I go, no, I sack Una Queen of the Fae for the last 2 mana with the ability on the stack.
John Ryan is casting Overmaster, making his next instant sorcery this turn uncounterable.
Which was already on...
I think he's cycling it, because it draws a card.
Okay. I was like, which is already uncounterable? He's going to bolt Jace.
He bolts Jace, alright. Solid move, taking care of that Planeswalker when he can. Not allowing Jace to get large and out of hand.
So his Overmaster is a cycle, right?
Has Tinker in hand, but no Mox. Oh my gosh, John Ryan. He's so close. He's got Teferi to protect him.
Right. So he doesn't have enough to Cryptic bounce the Teferi and then Hell counter up yet. So he's close.
Well, because he's got Dovin's Veto, but he doesn't have enough blue to do it all. He's only got access to 3 blue.
Right. So he can't, and that's the problem with Cryptic. It's such a powerful card, but, 3 blues, just a brutal.
Dan rearranging his mana, trying to see if there's a blue source hidden away.
Can I magically find more blue sources?
Oh my gosh!
Rearrange this mana.
I don't think he's going to find it. Command is a little too cryptic even for him right now.
So what's his name? We got Veto,
Dovin's Veto, Cryptic, Imperial Recruiter.
Maybe it's like that's what a recruiter I keep seeing when I think of as Grapple Master. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, maybe it was Recruiter or Conscripts.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I would say it's Conscripts and Splinter Twin.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't a recruiter.
I think we were mistaken.
I think that problem earlier I was talking about doesn't exist. So that's good. Yeah. Sometimes these cards, especially at this like high distance,
probably worth asking just in case, but I think we were wrong.
Right.
And taking a moment to consider his options, but I don't think he has a ton.
Conscripts and Teferi doesn't do anything.
No, because you can't both take and activate the Teferi, which is what you would... You
right.
can't both
you
attack
can activate the Teferi.
Sorry, you can't attack and activate the Teferi, which
right.
is what you would need to do to kill it. So instead, he chooses... There's not... he's conscripts. Conscripts, okay. Wait, conscripts, can you conscripts a land?
You can conscripts a land,
okay,
yes.
So you conscripts attack Teferi, untap your Glacial Fortress to hold up Dovin's Veto, and that doesn't do anything because Teferi's in play.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. You can at least get to draw an extra card and bring Teferi down to 3, right?
Yes, 2 clever by half. I think taking Teferi minusing to draw.
Right. At least you reset Teferi.
Conscript, steal Teferi, bounce conscripts. Ooh, very, very sexy. I like
Swing
it.
3. Right.
Bounce conscripts. That's a solid play.
Yeah.
Yep, and Dan's on it. Bouncing your own conscripts is
He's
very
thinking,
good.
I'm going to target this. I'm going to target this and draw a card.
Yep.
And then, it's that kind of party. Yeah.
And then you can have this back.
God, I love Zealous Conscripts.
You can have this back. Please don't draw an artifact.
Right.
Because if you do, it's going to be 2-0 for John Ryan. Doesn't seem like an artifact because it would be on the table.
Right.
It's
an artifact.
We were wrong. It's Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt Island.
Boom.
Tinker.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh. Dan's getting ready to get annihilated. Dan just lays all his cards out on the table and says,
I hate
I have been
Teferi."
killed by Teferi Time Raveler, which many people recently have said over the fullness of time.
It says, War of the Spark can eat large portions of my butt.
Yeah, what a horrible card to have to play against. John Ryan Hamilton taking home the match 2-0
Yeah.
on the back of Teferi number 3.
All right.
Time Raveler.
So which one of us is tagging out for pizza?
On
Rock,
3?
paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
You said shoot,
Rock,
right?
paper, sorry.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
You got me.
Cool. I'm tagging out for pizza.
Cool. Make sure there's still some left for
I
me.
will.
That's all I
will
ask.
put some pizza back for you.
I pray.
I will
pray
put some pizza back.
God.
Yes.